You're listening to the Did You Hear Show.
Yo, morning, folks.
With your host, Jason Garvey.
Yo, what's happening, folks? Joined by myself today, JG.
Oh, I thought you were introducing me as JJ. Yeah, JF, I suppose we'll go with that. Yeah.
Why would I be interested?
I don't know, because you're like joined by myself. I was like, what? Alright, solid introduction anyway.
Yeah, the introduction always gets fucked up, but we have Shauna Bannon with us today. How are you?
I'm good. Good.
I suppose we'll kick things off straight away. Shauna, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and I suppose the main reason we got you here.
So I'm a mixed martial artist. I switched to MMA about 3 years ago now. I was doing kickboxing first since I'm 3. So
Right.
loads of kickboxing experience, and then I made the switch over to MMA. Before that, for like a year and a half, I'd done taekwondo.
Okay.
But it wasn't really for me. So then I was like looking for something to do, like non-competitive, and then I was like, yeah, I'll give jiu-jitsu a go. And tried that, loved it, fell in love straight away, and then I ended up getting into the MMA classes, and when I done that I was like, no, this is where I want to go. I knew that.
Different ball game, instant passion for it.
Yeah, 100%. Like even more than I loved kickboxing, it was just like loved it straight away.
Tell me, 3 years of old to start kickboxing, like that's young to get involved. Like, was there family members involved or?
Yeah. So my dad has his own kickboxing gym, so that's how I got into it through my dad.
Right.
And was training with him for years, and then
Trained you up to be a world champion,
yeah,
didn't he?
yeah.
That's
6
mad.
times world champion and I think 7 European.
Deadly.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's some achievements. Daddy's girl, then, I'm assuming, yeah? Yeah.
That's mad. So, like, the transition to MMA is always difficult, like, especially for strikers, right? So you came from a kickboxing background.
Yeah.
You have to learn grappling, like wrestling as well. It's time consuming. Like, you have to put hours in to do it.
Yeah.
How did you, like, right, so you end up working with Paddy Holohan. How did you know he was the right one to go with to get better?
How I kind of figured jiu-jitsu, I never really
Let's
knew
go.
a
Paddy's a wizard at
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, 100%.
I trained under Paddy for a little bit. He's
Yeah.
excellent.
Unreal, yeah. So when I was doing taekwondo, it was when they were switching over from gym. So it was when Paddy was opening his own gym.
I remember, yeah.
And they had nowhere really to train. So they were doing bits like in TMA, bits in, that's my dad's kickboxing gym, they were doing bits in the taekwondo. And I remember like they used to be there before we'd start our taekwondo, and I was looking at it and I was like, what's that? Like, but I always kind of was a bit interested in it, but I never really had a clue what was going on. So then when I was stopping taekwondo, I was like, I might give that a go. And that's how I kind of linked in with Paddy, because I knew how well established he was, and like he had made it to the UFC, and I was like, sure, look, if it's right on my doorstep, I may as well go to that gym. And like, no, like second thoughts about it, like it's definitely.
He's
the
very
best
good
gym.
though, isn't he? In terms of like his detail, his attention to detail as well.
100%. And I think like when you have trust in your coach as well, it kind of makes it that you don't question anything. Do you know what I mean? Like I believe everything that he says, and like it just makes you a more confident fighter, and when he's coaching you.
Yeah. Did you ever find like a target on your back going into it? 'Cause from the kickboxing?
Not really. Like I think, well, all the people in that gym are very, like they're all sound. Do you know what I mean? Like they all just are there to help you. So like starting off, obviously it's a completely different sport. Like even though I had striking experience, like for the first year I didn't even do striking classes. I just done jiu-jitsu and wrestling like every morning and every night flat out, to like, because it takes like, it's like nearly a different language. Now when you're first starting off, you're like, what? So I was just doing that flat for the first year until I took my first MMA fight. But no, it's everyone in the gym so sound. They're just there to help you. Do you know what I mean?
Paddy always says it, doesn't he? I remember when he fought in the UFC, when he made his debut, he came out to the song Macklemore, 10,000 hours. Because he lives by 10,000 hours.
We were listening
So
to that
yeah.
on the way to my fight when we were driving down. Yeah.
You see? Yeah.
He was like, I walked out to this,
I'm assuming that's why you focus on the grappling now, because you would have been fairly confident in your striking, like from being a world champion kickboxer, like.
Yeah, but still I had to alter a few like aspects of my striking, because
Yeah,
like
of course, yeah.
point fighting is like the first clear score and then you stop and reset and go again. So like I would have been more explosive, but with MMA kind of can't be explosive the whole time, because it's
Yeah,
like,
of course, it's training.
yeah, and like it's a lot more strenuous on your body than just striking. Do you know what I mean? Because you're up, you're down, you're getting thrown, you're like, there's a lot more to it. So like you kind of have to balance the round out and know when to explode and when to relax, and kind of pace yourself as well.
And I'd say that part is tough, like just the endurance of it, like, because obviously we done our research and we watched a lot of your fights, and you do seem very explosive straight away, and then you tend to slow down a little bit, but you're never like, I don't think I've actually watched you fight and where you look like completely gone. Do you know what I mean?
I think I have a good gas tank.
You definitely do, 100%. That's what I'm saying. Like, you tend to have, like, does Paddy work on that?
I don't think Jay means you slow down as in your gas. I think he means like you come back and you catch yourself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I wasn't taking it in an offensive way. No, I know what you mean. It definitely is one of them where you kind of, I don't know, like, you can, in kickboxing, like, you could say whole time and fix your glove, and
that's what I'm saying. It's
you're constant, like, you can't, it's when you close the cage, you're go.
Yeah. But how do you train for that? Because let's face it, the amount of time we've watched McGregor kind of really start gassing pretty early, like, and he's worked
every time.
he's worked on that so hard. Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can see it with McGregor fast and everything else that he's been doing. That he's tried so hard, but he never really seems to get to grips with it, like, but you've seemed to figure it out pretty early, like, so, like, how do you do it? Is it just, do you think it's just natural, like, do you think it's...
No, like, I definitely train, like, me cardio and stuff, and I get VO2 max testing and all with Health Matters, and then there's John Mackey as well, he was doing, like, recent tests with me as well, so, like, I test my body and then work a program based off the results, do you know what I mean? So you can always change, but what I used to always find out based off my results is that I train too much in the red zone and not in the lower intensity, so your recovery isn't as good because your body's not used to training in that zone. So that's something that I've had to introduce a lot of, rather than training red zone. I think I used to do too much of that and not enough of the lower, so I've kind of found the balance and it's working for me.
Well, go on.
No, go on ahead.
All right. What was the difference in the endurance from kickboxing to MMA? Because, like you said, you're point fighting basically.
Yeah. So, like, the rounds are shorter, so they're 2-3 minutes in kickboxing and they're 3-3s in MMA. It'll be 5 obviously when I go pro, but that would be different. And then I think, like, your cardio from being on the ground, like, rolling cardio and striking cardio is different again as well, do you know? So I just try and get myself in hard jiu-jitsu rounds, hard striking rounds, and then the MMA rounds as well, and it just builds it. Like, the more you do it, the more you're used to it.
So you got a submission on your record, a submission win on your record.
Yeah.
Was that very important to you, considering, right, obviously you're the striker going in?
Like, after that fight, like, you can see my reaction, because I went in and I was like, right, I'm going to submit her because I want
it was quick as well.
Yeah.
And like Jay was saying a minute ago, like, for a kickboxer, you're not afraid to just get in the pocket and swing.
No.
Then trade punches. And then obviously she tried to take you down, you took her back and you submitted her.
Yeah.
So if I was to, like, kind of set someone up to fight Shauna, I would imagine, especially coming into it and you're only fresh, you think, right, she's a decorated striker. We'll try and get her to the ground, obviously, and obviously your strengths are on your feet. But then obviously you needed that one. Like, you needed that submission to just let people know, right, I can do it all. So what was that for you, like?
No, that was a big part of it, because I think, like, a lot of people thought, oh, she's going to be another striker transferring over, and they're just going to think that they're only able to do striking. But, like, it was like that. I worked so hard on that, like, you know, like, that was all I was doing. Like, I wasn't really focusing on me striking. I was focusing kind of more on me distance with me striking to avoid takedowns and stuff like that. But I'm not afraid to go to the ground, and I'm not afraid to go to the fence, because, like, we work so many hours in them positions, so I'm confident in them as well as me striking, you know.
Yeah.
So when I got that finish, like, it did mean a lot to me. And then only the morning of that fight, I was like a head kick knockout or a ground and pound finish. Like, so got the ground and pound.
Happy days.
Tell me, so obviously from training and actually going into the octagon and fighting, like, Jay, I'm sure you completely can resonate with this. Yeah, I'm sure you can, even though you are a goalkeeper. Like, when
I can see the comparisons. Yeah.
when you're playing Astro, let's say, or you're training versus a real football match, it's a completely different ball game.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. So, assuming it's the same for MMA, like, what do you put that down to? Do you think it's nerves? Do you think it's just you're trying, like, that bit harder because it's a genuine fight? Like,
yeah, well, I think, like, I have a lot of experience in fights. Like, I have hundreds of kickboxing fights, so I think that I know myself now and know how to. You obviously get nervous before a fight. Like, you're not going to not get nervous if someone says that they're lying. Like,
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
before a fight, like, I don't care. But, like, I think I know how to deal with them nerves now, because I've had to deal with it in so many like,
times.
I've fought in small tournaments, big tournaments, like shows. Like, I've fought in them all, so I'm used to that. So I think that kind of was a big part of MMA. Like, when I switched over, that I was confident that, like, I remember my first fight when they locked the cage. I was like, oh, this is a little bit different. But then once he said fight, I was like, it's the same.
Right.
Like it is. Like when you think, like it actually is the same. Like whether it's on a mat, whether it's in an octagon, whether it's in a ring, like they're all the same. It's a fight. And I think how you deal with your nerves is a big part of it as well. Like you see some people in the gym and they're unreal, and then they go out on the day and they're literally like, and
Fold.
they freeze. Yeah. So I think like that is one of my strengths as well, that I have a lot of experience going to different tournaments and shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What was your confidence like going into that one? So, because obviously it's new. Again, you're only new to the ground. You're new to grappling, jiu-jitsu, wrestling.
Yeah.
So where do you honestly rank your confidence at going into that first fight?
My very first,
Your
debut.
your MMA fight, yeah.
To be honest, I probably wasn't that confident, but I let me mind think I was. I was just like, no, I'm grand. I didn't think once that I was going to lose the fight. But I remember when Paddy said it to me about the fight, he rang me and he was like, do you want to fight? And I was like, do you think I'm ready? And he said, yeah. So I trusted in him that I was ready. And the match that he got, like the girl was a blue belt and I was obviously only training, like I think I was 10 months maybe after my debut, a little under a year. And but I didn't care what belt she was. I was like, I'm training with purple belts, black belts, brown belts, like all the belts. And like, yeah, they might smash me up, but like it's different with shots and it's different with like everything else involved. So like I was like, I don't really care what belt she is, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah. You good to go, Ray? No, I thought you had something lined up. What belt is Paddy?
Black.
Black?
Yeah,
he is a
yeah,
black.
yeah,
When did he
he is
get his
black
black belt?
I think it was about a year and a half ago, maybe more.
All right. No, because obviously
He got when it was when I was in the gym. I remember like the black belt grading was then. Yeah, but I definitely think you should have had it way before that.
yeah, no, he is, and
controversy.
he's slick with it.
Yeah, he's unreal. Like he's
What's he like? Does he ever get that itch? Obviously, he can't fight. He was forced to retire.
Yeah.
But do you ever have them conversations with you where he's like, you know, he has that ambition to get back or just want to do it? Obviously, because
Yeah,
he can't.
I'd say like obviously like the way his career ended was shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But he
It's like
had
a 1 in a million
yeah,
illness or something,
yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah. But like he put so much time into us. So I think his focus now is on bringing up his team and getting his team to the UFC and or whatever organisation people want to fight in. But like that's what his goal is now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he does say that, but obviously I can imagine like a bit inside him would obviously still love to fight because he's still like looking at the people in that division now. Like he'd still batter them.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
He would, and like there's so many people. Even with the Lewis Smoker thing, I remember when he fought over here. I think it was a last minute change to him headlining the card,
Yeah.
and that one like
He found out I think on Twitter or something he was saying.
yeah, and like
He
your
didn't even
heart-
get a call.
That's the thing. Like so, you wake up, you check Twitter, and all of a sudden, oh shit, I'm the main event of a fucking UFC card in my country. Like, but my heart broke from obviously you'd want him to go out on top like that. But I wanted to ask you in terms of like your division, right? So you're very kind of, I don't know what I'll call you because you're not fighting in just one consistent division. You
'Cause it's so
flyweight,
hard to
bantamweight.
get a fight.
That's what we said.
Yeah, so is that what it comes down to?
Yeah.
Just to get a fight?
Like it's literally like it's a nightmare. Like you wouldn't even believe it. Like the amount of fights that I've had. Like I message people, so I go onto Tapology and I get a list of active fighters and I find them on Instagram and I'm like, hey, what's up? Would you like to fight in this show? And then, or else I get Paddy.
Is that literally how it's done for amateurs?
No, not really. But like I just.
You're just doing it to try your hardest
like
to
I'm
get
not
free.
saying
Get the
it.
ball
I'm
rolling.
not saying it in a cheeky way, calling
Yeah.
people out. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Would you like to fight like XX?
Imagine that. Someone just texting, do you want to fight? Fuck off.
Well, come here. We're actually getting loads
do?
of fights out of it. Well,
Yeah.
not loads, but like there was fights that I was like some people were kind of just like, I'll get back to you, and then wouldn't. I'd be like, oh, do you have any update there? And then they just wouldn't answer. So like you'd be like,
That was like us with you on the WhatsApp. We had on the Instagram. We had to keep on texting.
sorry.
No, but look, we understand that. Like obviously,
busy
saying
lifestyle.
exactly saying people are busy. Like Jay wouldn't be one for that. He just texts and then stop. Whereas I just threw the slow reaction to stories and shit like that, obviously
me
to
the
get your
gentle
attention. Yeah, exactly.
I said it to him as well.
it.
I said it to him as well because we got a notification. Obviously, Shauna Bannon likes this or whatever, and I was like, right, I can see why you're doing it. Do you know what I mean? You're just keeping the name. You know what I mean? And I said, I was like, respect, fair
No,
play.
yeah, because I just come here, see,
I
baby
know,
brain,
yeah.
it's a real thing.
Yeah, I know.
No,
Yeah.
like it's actually starting to scare me. I think I need to like go to the doctor and get something for her. Like I just forget everything.
Yeah, I know.
Like I'm like, oh my god, like seriously.
I know, but we're the same. Like we're all of, I guess we have to. Now, don't get me wrong. You have to read people differently. Some people just genuinely don't want to come on and avoiding you. But I knew in your case it was just you were fucking too busy, you know what I mean? And obviously watching your stories, I can see you've a lot going on and all, so that's why I was doing it, you know? It's obviously paid off though, hasn't it? You know what I mean? Like, she wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that.
Remember the MSN nudges?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot all about them. Yeah.
Are you there?
We were called creeps if we done them though.
Oh, stop.
Back to like the weight divisions. So will bantamweight be your ideal division? Because that's where you've obviously had most success.
Yeah, no,
amateur career.
flyweight will be my division.
Flyweight?
Like I weighed in like a kilo under the other day, and that was
Right.
fully hydrated and fully fueled.
Well, I that's what I was going to ask, because like you would imagine that would have been a tougher cut considering you've fought at 45, 35, 25.
Yeah, I know.
And
So-
you've like the majority of your wins are at bantamweight though as well, yeah?
Yeah, so like for the IMAFs, I'd be fighting bantamweight because I wouldn't make flyweight for a full week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sort of like the world I fought bantamweight.
Yeah.
And then all my other matches were just kind of at that because they were the only matches I could get. Like my
could
fight
get.
next week is at 63 because that girl's coming from 66.
I'm brutal at
So
kilo, so what is
so-
that?
So it's like a catchweight. So it'd be like
Okay.
in between bantamweight and featherweight.
Mhm.
So bantamweight
140
is
maybe.
61 and featherweight is 66. Well, it's like 58 point or 55.8 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's 63. Sorry, 63. What am I talking about? 63, not 58. So flyweight is 50, let's say 57. Bantamweight is 61.
Quick maths.
We're just rounded off. And then featherweight is 66. So I'm meeting her in the middle
Yeah, I get you.
at 63. But like I would rather be, I would have likened to get 1 or 2 at flyweight.
Mhm.
I've only ever fought once at flyweight in MMA.
Yeah,
So, but
that was just this recent one.
no, that was bantamweight. So that was
Was it?
61. Yeah.
Tapology has flyweight, so we'll change that.
Does it?
Yeah.
Right, okay, no. So we won when I was pregnant. That was flyweight, and my God, wow, that weight cut.
What did you just say?
Oh yeah, she didn't know,
I-
didn't you? Not? And you
I
cut
fought
weight.
when I was pregnant, yeah.
And you had
Really?
to you had to make 125.
Yeah, so I was fighting
Yeah, I remember.
flyweight, right? And like the cut was going brilliant, everything was going brilliant. I was fine, and I only had like under 2 kilos water weight to lose, which is like nothing. Like that's easy. Like I've done that loads of times, and we got it. So
Teach us how to do it, will you?
well, it's just like fake losing weight. Like it's just losing the water.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not actual
Go to
weight
the
loss.
toilet.
Yeah. But yeah, so I was over. We were waiting on Paddy to come. And I was like, right, I'll have the first bat. So Sarah was there with me. But we heated the bats too hot. And I got into it and I came out and I collapsed into bed and fell asleep for 2 hours. And I woke up and I was like, what's going on? And my body was just like shutting down. I couldn't sweat. Like no sweat was coming out of my body. So when Paddy came, I done the bats proper with him. And then we got to the weigh-in and I was still 0.3 over. So I was 57. But because it was for a title, I had to be 56.7. So I went back to a sauna and I mean, like no sweat was coming out of me. Like Paddy was like, I've never seen this happen before.
Yeah, it's
He was
strange,
like,
all right.
what the hell? So I was like, I couldn't understand it. So I eventually got the 0.3 off, weighed in, and then I just slept all that day. I didn't rehydrate properly, didn't refuel properly because I was just exhausted and my body was like, I was like, what is
You were
wrong
gaunt,
with
weren't
me?
you?
It was weird. Like
Yeah.
it was so weird. Like I knew there was something wrong with me, but like at the time obviously I was like, what the fuck? So then I was awake all night because I had slept all day, but nowhere was open to get filled. So I didn't rehydrate properly at all. Like it was bad. And then the day came for fighting and I just wasn't in the humour. And like I've never not been in the humour fighting ever. And I just was like, oh, this is an effort. Like I had no. And then on the fight day, I found out it was 5 rounds, not 3. And I was like,
Look.
oh, fuck. I was like, I had 3 rounds in me with 5. And like just in the fight, like I wanted to do things and my body was just like, no.
It wasn't
No.
cooperating.
And I was like, because my whole camp had gone so well, like everything. And I was like,
And which fight was this now?
so this was my last fight before I had Jace. It was last February,
Against.
Dakota.
Ah, yeah, that was the one you lost by decision, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I seen that one. Yeah.
We watched that here, remember?
Mm.
Yeah. So
She
When-
was a big girl as well, wasn't she? Like she was a lot
Yeah,
taller than
tall,
you,
yeah,
wasn't she?
yeah.
Like she.
But like I knew, like do you know when I was fighting, like I just there was nothing. Like I
Yeah.
should have beaten her.
Would you love a rematch?
Oh, we'll have a rematch at Pro Defo.
Yeah.
Defo.
Is she pro now?
I think she's had her pro debut. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
right. So that much make the loss that bit sorted, then does it?
Come here, look. I'm not gonna. Amateur doesn't like it. Obviously means something to me, but it's all about experience.
getting the rounds
Exactly,
in, isn't
yeah.
it?
No,
And
like
figuring
I'm
it
just
out.
like that's why like everyone's like, oh my god, you're taking fight so
You
close
took
to
a
each
few
other.
fucking big shots in that. Well, it looked like big shots. I mean, you didn't see him phased by him, but you have a good chin, like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there was a couple there that I was saying.
You would have went
Jesus.
down.
No, I'm a tank. But no, you did. You took a few good shots there, and
Yeah, no, I wasn't. But I felt like that fight, looking back on it, like it was just me surviving. I wasn't fighting in that fight.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
had to get through it. You just wanted to see the bell.
like when I'm normally fighting, I'm like enjoying it and I love it and I'm like, this is deadly. But like that fight, it just wasn't there for me. Like, do you know what I mean? And then I was supposed to fight 2 weeks later, and then obviously COVID and all was happening, so that show got cancelled. But then sure, I found out I was pregnant, and I was like, this makes sense.
Yeah, it's all coming together.
Yeah. Like I think
I can only
pregnant.
imagine how Jace felt during them big spinning kicks on that fight.
I know.
Jesus Christ, you tried.
No, I got a few knees as well. Poor
Yeah,
child.
you did. Yeah, you got a few. But that's what that was the main fight I was referring to. You coming out explosive, like you really were. Like the first 3 rounds at least, like you came out with them kicks and you were like a fucking head case, you know. And
But even in me, I didn't feel that in that.
yeah,
Do you know?
yeah. And you know what I fucking hate? I fucking hate watching it because it's just like, you bastard. I feel it every time it happens when they're stamping on your bleeding toes.
Do you know what? It's not even that sore.
Isn't it?
Yeah, but I know. But well, it's because your
It
adrenaline is
it
up
looks
as well.
worse
Yeah.
than it actually is.
Yeah.
It actually does. Like, they don't really do much. It's just for effect. It makes you, like, if you're in a dominant position in the clinch and you're throwing a few of them, it makes it look a little bit more
You
dominant.
obviously never hit your baby toe off the corner of the door,
That's
did you?
worse. That's worse. See Jason as Walker. When he clips my toes, I'm like, agony.
Your toe getting curled up in the
I'm like,
wheel.
oh, that's worse than a foot stomp. I'm telling you now.
Oh, yeah, 100%. That's unanimous, though, isn't it?
Oh, like I'd be nearly crying. I'm like, oh my god.
I think I don't know which comedian, which Irish comedian done it, but they done that one of them stupid videos, you know, where they put their mouth and their eyes on someone's baby toe. I'm like, you bastard at the dog now.
That's good though. Oh, nothing
stop.
worse.
So come here, since you spoke about Jace there, what is it like trying to fucking obviously be a fighter while being a full-time mother? Like, I can only imagine how fucking hard that is. Like,
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, it is tough, but it's worth it. You know what I mean? And my ma helps so much. Like, she's babysits Jace every day when I'm training. So
happy days.
I'd literally,
So
she's
every day you're training, eh?
yeah, twice a day.
Right.
Yeah, so she minds him in the morning and the night. My friends do help as well, but like it's mainly her.
mainly
So
her
I'm
ma.
so grateful for her.
Absolutely
She's on
blessed,
holidays
yeah.
at the moment, and I'm like, get back quick. I miss you.
Was
Yeah, I
there-
can imagine.
Was there ever a situation where you you debated your career when you got pregnant?
Yeah,
where
my
you're
whole
like,
pregnancy.
Right, am I gonna continue this or whatever?
Yeah, literally my whole pregnancy. Like, it was just like, when I found out I was pregnant, like, I don't think I accepted it until I was about 20 weeks pregnant. That's the God's honest truth. Like, I was just like, I think I was still in shock. Like, I couldn't believe it. And then, like, obviously when he started to get bigger in the scans and his features and all, then, like, I was just like, no, like, this is for me. But, like, it took a long time to accept. Like,
Yeah.
I was just, like, it was tough. And then, like, my ma has a gene that if she has a son, there's, like, 50% chance of him being blind. And me and my sister were supposed to get tested for that when we were 18, but we never did. So then I was supposed to get tested for it, and the cow made a big mistake. They told me that I had to wait until I was 18 weeks, but I didn't. And then it was too late to get tested. And then I found out I was having a boy, and I didn't know whether I had the gene or not. And I was like there's one thing having a child, but then having a child with a disability, that's
Yeah.
like
100%.
completely different as well.
You wouldn't
So
have went back, would you? Know?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
I
one
don't
of
have
those-
the
You
gene
wouldn't
anyway.
know, yeah. You
Well, I
fucking,
suppose
that's,
it all depends, but yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, that's
it was
scary,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it was like that's a whole different life. Like, you know, like skills are different, hobbies are different. Like, come here, like it would have been what it was, but like I'm so grateful that I'm not in that position.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
I was very lucky.
So it's things like that like we take for granted, like little fucking things that happen recently with ourselves or whatever. Like you need to just take the good out of fucking everything and how blessed we are just having healthy kids. Like that alone is
100%.
fucking.
Like, there's nothing worse. Like, I remember,
No.
like when Jace was first born, like the littlest thing, you'd be like, oh my god, I have to
Yeah,
ring the, I
you
have to ring
do.
the doctor. I have to, and like you're just like, you just keep thinking like that
Yeah.
something's wrong, and like he's grand.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm waking up in the middle of the night checking if he's breathing and all.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god,
I
like
literally done that every minute of the day. I was like, even when my daughter was asleep on the fucking couch or something with a blanket on, all right, you know, just whatever.
Yeah,
Your mind
especially-
just goes like that.
It tends to slow down after the second. You're like, it's grand.
yeah, no, I was only thinking that the other day. I was like, the amount of sleep I lost for the first weeks of my life just to see if he was breathing. I was
Yeah,
like,
no, but it's scary, like,
It
because especially like when you've never done it before. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you have to learn yourself. Like, when you had Jace, were you in your mom's at the start?
Yeah.
So you had all them to give their opinion and all, which obviously would have helped, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but I still think I was just like a
Yeah.
psycho about it. I was like, and he was a loud breeder as well, which kind of like helped a little bit.
Yeah.
Colleague or
Yeah.
that? No.
No, he had reflux.
Right.
But do you know what? Now, actually, I don't think he did have reflux. So I was breastfeeding at the time, and now I've realised he's allergic to eggs. So I think it was actually the eggs more so than reflux.
Yeah.
So they had him on reflux tablets for ages. But I think it was just a mix of my diet and the breastfeeding and whatever. But yeah, no, he just used to have like 2 hours in the night where he was a bit groggy.
Yeah.
Other than that, he was
What's he like now? Like, is he sleeping through the night? Everything
No.
good? No, still fucking.
No, like in the past week, my God, because he's teething, he's getting his 2 top teeth coming through. They're cut now, so I'm like hoping that. But no, he still wakes like 3 times a night, and that's on a good night.
Did you use that fucking powder for his gums?
Teeda.
Teeda, yeah. No, it's not doing
for him.
that.
I have the gel of it as well. Calpol, I suppose. But like no,
and he fucking nibbling at your finger all the time.
nibbling
and all.
at everything, anything he can get his hands on, he bites. Like see the phone and all. Oh, the other day I was in the lift and he just have the phones bite and all, and he dropped it down. Do you know the little gap?
Yeah.
Like, what are the chances it fell down that? And I was like, serious. I had to get the maintenance man to come out, and it wasn't smashed.
Blessed.
Like, I'm never getting that phone again.
My
to bite.
daughter dropped my phone in McDonald's and sitting in the middle of McDonald's. She dropped it and I looked up and the whole thing was smashed. And she just looked at me like, sorry.
What a drop!
Banned from the
a
phone
drop
now.
kick in the head.
No, do you know what? I was angry for about 60 seconds and I just like.
I actually laughed when it happened because I was just like, what are the chances
Yeah.
it could fall down that little gap?
Yeah.
But you're saying, obviously, we've been doing our research and looking at your Instagram story, and look, hats off to you. Like, I like to say I'm good at reading people. I see people put up stories about parenting and all this stuff, but I can tell that you're good at it. Do you know what I mean?
Thanks.
And I can see the connection you have. Like, even first thing in the morning, like, I know it's hard in the morning. Mornings are a cunt, and you just, I don't know, it's like, it's beautiful to see. You have a lovely relationship with him, and you seem to be doing a smashing job, so fair play to you, honest to
thanks so
God.
much, I appreciate that.
Like I said, I can't imagine how hard it is. I seen his little top supporting his mum, and you were fighting
and he was
which
watching the telly.
deadly.
I was like, did he recognise me, man? She was like, yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
he didn't, did he? He hadn't a clue.
Yeah. How old is he now, actually?
8 months.
8 months,
Yeah.
right?
So that's a question that I kind of wanted to lean into. Were you confident 8 months was enough time after birth to go back and compete?
I was going to fight at 4 months and it got cancelled. Yeah.
Fucking mental.
I went back training after 4 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. Back rolling
Did
and all.
doctors suggest anything to you?
So I had to.
You didn't ask them.
For to get me medical, I had to go to a different doctor that didn't know that I had a baby. Because my doctor wouldn't pass it. Oh my God, should I say that?
Probably not. We should look. You've had your first
Well,
fight
that fight
anyway.
never happened anyway, so I'd
Yeah.
get past now. So that fight was fresh. But yeah, no, the one that was supposed to happen in the March, I was saying to my doctor, I was like, oh, I have to come. I was doing I think it was like a 6-week checkup or something. I was like, oh, I have to actually get a medical because I have a fight in a couple of weeks. And he was like,
No, you don't.
no. And I was like, never mind, sorry. So then I rang a different doctor and got it done there.
Yes. When you decide to go pro, who has that conversation with you? So you have, is it 5 fights in total in the space of 10 weeks or something? And then you're going pro?
Well, yeah, so I don't really know so I have 3 fights scheduled on shows and then I have the IMAF. So the division still isn't closed. So I
Right.
could have up to 4 fights at that.
Right. So who has that conversation with you about, right, this is when we're going to do it? Like,
So I think it's not really kind of about fights even. It's more so what I gain, the experience I gain in the next few fights. Like I'd be hoping to maybe after the October one, but I'll see where I am then. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to say yeah, no, but I would love to have my debut before the end of the year.
is there a map for where you want to be? Ultimately, you want to be in the UFC.
Yeah.
Do you have a timeline for that? Is there like a route to get there? Or do you have like a certain amount of fights that you want to
Now
be
be careful here, because the last person Jay asked this question to, he hit the nail on the head with all his predictions. So the
Wait.
pressure's on. Are you fucking winding me up? Are you actually winding me up?
What?
Who?
Who was the last person I asked that to? Yeah, my brain's scrambled.
You have baby brain as well.
Yeah. Who did I ask?
Think about it. Think about who predicted everything. I think you're just looking for me to fucking say.
Oh, you're on about Conor McGregor?
Yes.
I was like, what are you talking about? We didn't have anyone on. I thought MMA. Yeah,
Am I the first person on that does MMA?
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Is she? She is.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Flying the flag high for the women.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I see, like I was thinking, previously I was thinking more like Invicta Cage Warriors, that kind of route.
Yeah.
But then I think the UAE's, do you know the UAE show?
Yeah.
That's kind of open to it as well. I'm not going to say any certain shows, like I'll see what comes up and what opportunities are there. There's obviously certain shows that I think kind of would put you in the wrong direction, and I'll see what opportunities come up at the time.
Would you ever do anything like a Contender Series or an Ultimate Fighter or anything?
Yeah.
That'd be a mad experience.
Yeah.
Contender
Series I'd like to do more. So then.
Well, why is it specifically that you want UFC over Bellator? Because like Bellator, they are more given to European fighters. They recruit a lot of European fighters.
UFC is the biggest stage.
No, of course. But like I'm saying, like a lot of Irish fighters have signed with Bellator recently. So
a lot of them got dropped.
But isn't that complications
that's
then when
also
you're
true.
moving over? When you're trying to make the move, apparently it's a fucking nightmare now.
Like, I just think the UFC is the best organisation that there is, and I want to be with the best. Like, when you think about the flyweight division in Bellator, there's like one or two that are decent, and then the rest are kind of
just there to be numbers, like.
Yeah, so like I don't want.
Are you looking at these already as like competitors or future competitors as opposed to fans?
That's yeah. Shevchenko is unreal. Don't get me wrong. Like, I am a fan of hers, but like, I'd still love to fight her.
Yeah. Who was your go-to fighter growing up? Who did you like watching the most?
I suppose Ronda Rousey is obviously
a big Ronda fan?
Yeah. Like, I just think with MMA, like she was just the best female that there was.
It's nearly obvious, isn't it? Like there's a lot of males.
But I do really like Holly Holm as well. I think like she's still fucking going very strong.
Well, what was your thoughts on how she took the loss?
Ronda?
Yeah.
Like just giving up?
I just felt like, you know what?
You didn't like it, didn't you? Know?
I loved Ronda as well. Yeah. I was a big fan of her, and I just thought she turned into a fucking arsehole when she started losing.
Well, she kind of is a bit of an arsehole as a person. People are different as fighters, as parents.
Yeah, no, I know that, but like, just, I don't know, like, I expected more of her from being such a good champion. Like, I just thought,
you would understand that though more if you watched Ronda Rousey's rematch against Miesha Tate, and she submitted Miesha Tate, and Miesha Tate puts her hand out at the end of the fight, and Ronda goes, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what you're
She's
getting.
always like that, I think. Like, she's just kind of... She's like a little tomboy or something. She's real. I don't know. She just reminds me of a bloke.
Yeah, I think when she transitioned to the WWE, that was made for her.
Yeah,
she was brilliant at that.
Yeah, she seems more suited for that. She has the attitude and that American fucking. I don't want to say stupidity, but you know what I mean. Do you know what I'm saying?
Different, aren't
they? They're just different. And I think she's better suited for that. Like even the lights when she was in the Fast and Furious, I was like, this feels weird, but it kind of suits her as well. Do you know what I mean? That type of vibe, like.
Yeah. Come here. I'd imagine you looked into Aisling Daly's career a lot.
Yeah. No, I've trained
she
for
was
her as well.
Literally a pioneer for women.
She's unreal.
Yeah.
And come here, wrestle. Like, obviously, she's can't do MMA anymore, but like, I've wrestled with her and she's unreal.
She's strong.
Is she still training now?
Her jiu-jitsu is unbelievable as well. Yeah. She trains in Team KF.
Okay.
Yeah, she teaches there as well. She does ladies classes and all day.
That's Chris Fields and Tom King, is it?
Yeah.
Speaking of obviously teaching and stuff, like, would you recommend other young females to get into the game? Like, I know we were speaking off camera here briefly about the pay and stuff isn't great. Like, so someone looking to get into it, young inspiring girls, like, what kind of advice would you give them?
Yeah, like, I think it's about enjoying it though as well. Like, if you don't enjoy it, it's like, I didn't really enjoy the taekwondo, but I was doing it because I wanted to go to the Olympics, and then I had to kind of just be like, look, there's no point in pushing something that you're not enjoying, because you can't. I don't think if you're not enjoying the sport, you can't do well in it.
You never
like,
excel in it.
You have to actually love it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I think about MMA 24/7. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, I think that's a huge part of it. I don't think you can force to like something and to do it. You know, I think you have to find that love for it, and if it's there, go for it. But if it's not, try something different. Like, I don't think like you should force anything.
I think that's my opinion on why Conor McGregor still competes. Like, I know the way people say he doesn't have that hunger.
Yeah, I say bollocks.
I think there's a difference in hunger and there's a difference in love. Like, I think he has the love for it, whether he has the drive to be the champion again or not.
I think he does though.
I personally think he does as well, but I think he has that love for it, and that's why no matter how much money he earns, he still kind of wants to fight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What did you make of what went down with him and Dustin Poirier for the third time?
I don't know. Do you really think that they can have another rematch?
Well, are you a fan, first of all?
Yeah, like, come here. And I think what he's done for the sport is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like,
especially here in the country.
Yeah, 100%. Like, definitely. And he is an unreal fighter.
His fighting IQ was just ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. I think the first time they fought, he was like fighting like a boxer though. And I think that's where
he was
kind of-
overconfident. And
You mean the rematch? Sorry, the second
No, the
fight.
sorry,
first
the second fight.
Yeah.
No,
The
second fight, yeah.
like not the one from
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah.
The first recent fight.
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
the first reason.
First one of this year, yeah.
Not the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think he was a lot like a boxer in that one, but I think that if that hadn't have went like with his foot, like I think like it was close. I don't think it was like
As bad as
battering him. Like, do you know
Yeah.
what I
Me
mean?
and him had like conversations about that, didn't we? Like, like
you just kept on saying. I just remember him. He's gone. He's gone. And I was saying, look at the heel kicks. He's clattering him over with the heel kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he got him 4 or 5 times with them. Like I was
But
like,
you know what
he's
it
still
is?
in it.
Oh,
We
yeah.
done a watch along for it. Like we were live while watching the fight, reacting
Right,
to it.
okay,
Like, do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Oh, I was
it
shook. It was such an anticlimax, wasn't it? I was like, oh.
when we watched the live back, I think I said it about 9 times, and you's only heard me the last time.
Yeah, his foot's broke. His foot's broke.
I seen it straight away. Like
Yeah, it
as
just
soon
goes,
as it,
oh.
yeah, it was fucking nasty.
See, I think the commentary sways a lot of your opinions. Like, I
100%.
really believe like Joe Rogan's a great commentator. Well, he used to be anyway. I don't think he's as good anymore because I think his
Bit biased.
and his opinion sways a lot of the public's judgment. And when he says, "Oh, Conor McGregor's getting smashed," the generic reaction is, "Oh, McGregor got smashed last night."
Yeah.
Like Murray, like our engineer, like so. He dropped me down for the next podcast the day after, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like apparently Poirier this, that, and the other." I was like, "Did you watch the fight?" And he
Yeah.
didn't watch the fight.
Oh, like I don't think he got smashed at all.
No,
I don't like
he
Poirier
was still
missed a
in
lot
it.
of the
So,
shots.
look at the Instagram he put up in the hospital. There wasn't a mark on him.
Yeah.
There
yeah.
wasn't, and like that says it all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know it doesn't take a mark to fucking be injured, but there wasn't a mark on him. He was brand new. Now, don't get me wrong, he was definitely losing the first round.
He
Do
lost
you know
the
what I
first
mean?
round.
But what was your thoughts on kind of the aftermath and how we acted and all? Like, what was your?
I don't think there was a need for it, was there?
Yeah,
You saw
it's a bit-
you saw the Black Forge Conor come out.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just like, I don't know.
That's
See,
the thing that goes against him, isn't it?
That's the bit
Yeah.
I fucking can't stand. Like, I fucking hate that bollocks. Like, just mate, stop it. And then this gun sign and all, like, oh, it's just embarrassing, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, I wanted him to do so well. Now when I seen that, I was like, oh, it's like karma's a fucking bitch a little
I know,
bit.
but everyone
isn't it?
forgets about it then in a few weeks because you just
Yeah.
always do stuff and then
Yeah.
it's just forgotten about.
But then he
Because he
kinda-
is such an unreal athlete at the
Yeah.
end of the day. So it's like you remember that part and then you forget and then
There's also the good that he does as well. So like, here's the thing, where so didn't he buy like 8 houses or something for the homeless over here?
He has done a lot, yeah.
But then he goes and does something like what with his tweet about Khabib's dad recently.
No,
you know,
I think
like-
that was taken up wrong though as well.
Right. So Martin texts me like, "Jay, explain this because I'm a big McGregor fan." I was like, "There is no explaining it. So how can it be taken up wrong?"
I don't think he meant it in the way it's still not right what he said, but I don't think he meant it in the way everyone thought he meant it. That's why it was left up. I think if he meant it in that way, it would have been taken down.
So what way do you think?
How
he
do
meant
I
it?
explain it? He was saying as in his dad was good, but he was taken from evil, rather than.
No, he
I
said
don't
why
know.
did
both
he
ways
even
good.
post it at all?
Yeah, no, I know,
Yeah.
I know. Look, I'm not.
And it was a
fucking-
few weeks after Khabib even said it. Khabib said it after Poirier won the fight. He was like, "Good defeats evil." So like 3-4 weeks after the fight, then he responds with it. Yeah, it wasn't right. It wasn't right. But you're obviously hoping to be a part of the next wave now that takes Ireland into the UFC.
Yeah.
What are your what's your gut telling you about it? Like when do you eventually see yourself there?
In the next 2 years.
In 2 years?
Yeah.
So you're literally going pro in the next couple of months, and you have a 2-year window to get there.
I'll be active. Like I'm not going to take large gaps in between fights. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'd like to have a fight every 3 months and hopefully be 5 now and then.
That's usually the number
Dana
people
was
go
looking at
for,
my
isn't
story there a few weeks ago. I was like, "Hey Dana, what's
He
up?"
was not, was
Yeah.
Did he actually?
Yeah.
No way. How did he get into your?
I don't know.
That's
I
mad.
don't know. Paddy put up something about me, so I don't know whether he got through. I don't know.
At least,
But I was
at
like-
least you have eyes on you. Do you know what I mean?
That's deadly. That's deadly. No, look, I hope it works out for you. I really do. I hope you get there.
Yeah.
No,
That's
really.
the goal now. It is like, and that's what I'm working towards. Like,
And like you said, like Shevchenko, she's a tough one to go after, but you know,
I'd love to fire.
yeah. No, it'd be
I
some
would,
contest
like-
in terms of the striking. It'd be good, but obviously, like you would obviously like to be a little bit more polished as well. Going
Yeah,
in, 'cause she's a
100%.
fucking
And that's why, like, I'm
murderer
not
right
gonna
now.
rush my pro career, but like, I think with what I have planned over the next little while, like, it's set me in the right direction, 100%.
So you're fully sure that the 2 years is enough to get there,
Yeah, I think so.
right? Right. No,
Like, meet all the training
sounds
partners
good, yeah.
and coaches that I have, and yeah, definitely.
If you could give
Yeah,
your
23.
younger self any advice, what would it be?
In regards to training, like, yeah, I think I used to definitely take kickboxing way too serious. Like, there was no balance. I used to just be like 100% that. And I think it kind of sometimes made me hate it a little bit. So I had kind of a love-hate relationship with it. I think now with the balance that I have with MMA, it's perfect. Like, I still have my other life and then I still train hard. And I think it makes it just that much more enjoyable. And I think you have to enjoy it if you're in it for the long run.
Do you think if you took that advice back then, you would have gone even further?
No, well, like, I got the highest that it was in kickboxing, like the World and Europeans. There was no Olympics, and I won the Combat Games as well. So I won everything that there was to win. But I think at times I made it a lot harder than it needed to be, and not as enjoyable.
But like, as much as I understand what you're saying, like, because you achieved it all, I wouldn't be.
I know, but I think like I let it lead me into, like, I don't know, like, I just think I definitely would have relaxed a little bit more in certain times in my life. I was just a bit like psychotic with it.
We get into some quick fire questions.
Yeah,
wrap it up.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll obviously start off. We touched on it, UFC or Bellator, so we know that one.
Yeah.
UFC, knockout or submission? Knockout. Dream opponent? Would you get a 35-pound Amanda Nunez?
Sure, go on, throw her in there.
No, but do you have?
No, I'd love to fight Shevchenko.
That's your
yeah.
dream
No, I'd love
opponent.
to fight her because sure, she's the champ in the organisation I want to fight, and so 100%.
What do you think of her and Nunez? She's obviously 0-2 against Nunez, but
I
still
just
kind of
think,
want that one.
I think I prefer watching her fight than Nunez.
Do you?
Yeah.
Would she be more kind of similar to your style?
Yeah, probably. Maybe that's why. I just think with Nunez, she's kind of a bit. I don't know. It's not exciting to watch.
So she
Do you think she's exciting to watch?
Amanda Nunez?
Yeah.
I love watching her. I think she's not only the greatest
she
female
is,
fighter
like,
of all time,
but it's just.
but I think she's in the category for
Think
greatest
she's too
of all
safe
time.
I don't know.
She's a knockout artist.
Yeah, but
she'll
like it's
kill
just,
you in seconds. Like, I don't know. I think Amanda
No,
Nunez.
Would you
Yeah.
scrap her?
I'm not enough. You couldn't pay me Conor McGregor money to fight her.
What's
she
the
needs to go to the male divisions,
Yeah,
doesn't
but,
she?
but they done that with Ronda Rousey, and that's
Actually-
the reason she got her head kicked off her shoulders against Holly Holm.
while you actually said that, just briefly, I'll touch on the whole transgender thing. What do you
here
make
we
of all
go.
this?
No, I don't think that's right at all.
It's a joke, isn't it?
Like, I just don't think there was someone in the Olympics, wasn't there?
Yeah.
That's like me getting a set of tits
Yeah.
and then head kicking you.
No,
Do you know what I
it's
mean? It's
just-
just like, no, you'd batter the fuck out of me. You'd chair me. Do you know what I mean? But I'm saying, like, I don't know, I'll carry a bit of weight as well, so like, I probably, like, but yeah, no, it's not right at all.
No, I definitely don't agree with it. Like, I think,
They should have their own division.
yeah, but then I don't think that either. Because, like, then you're a world
Yeah, 'cause you
champion
could
and there's
be-
two people in your division.
Yeah, no, but not only that. Then if you have it the other way around, you're still getting punched around. You know what I mean?
No, I think, like, you were born as a male. Like, I'm probably going to get fucking hate for this. But
I'm of the same opinion as you.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
that's
Yeah,
where
you're
you
a
were
male.
born. You need to fight in that division, or you need
Yeah.
to compete in that division. I don't think that.
Would you ever fight a bloke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, I wouldn't agree. I don't agree with the way that's going and the way they let that.
Have you ever had, like, in terms of sparring or and like being cock proper from a lad where, like, you've been hurt or anything?
Yeah.
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 And then what's your reaction? You just, yeah,
It's
whatever.
the but it's the same. A girl could do it as well. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
like, it doesn't, like, I don't think anyone in my gym hurts anyone on purpose. Like, if there's an injury, it's an accident. Like,
Yeah.
we all train pretty safe. Like, we don't try and kill
Yeah.
each other. It's not like that in our gym. Do you know what I mean?
I don't
we
mean-
spar hard, but we don't try and knock each other out, you know?
I get you.
I don't mean to sound offensive or something, but I just couldn't.
Oh yeah, well that's what I was gonna say. So when
But
I was in
that's
SPG,
worse.
when I was in
What?
SPG, I had to spar a girl. And
That's
I
worth
fucking
saying
hated
that.
No, like, I hate when, like, I'm fighting or rolling with a fella or sparring with a fella and they're, like, holding back. You're like, just spar.
it. See, I done that though.
Like,
Oh no,
no.
I understand it. I do especially from your side. I understand it. But just me personally, I wouldn't be able to. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of women that had punched me around, but I still couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, I know,
Like-
I know.
Yeah, I think, though, you'd get over it.
I literally just kept this young one at the end
Yeah,
of the
so
jab.
if you're in that environment and
I
you're
couldn't do it. I literally had to just keep jabbing, and it was a mental thing. Like, I don't want to, like, hurt her, but like you said, her skill set is probably way better than mine.
yeah.
But if I, like, I've more strength than her, so if I did connect, I'd feel bad or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
either, like, I kept, like,
But that's
sweeping
just
her leg
about
or jabbing. like,
Controlling your power or whatever, do you know?
yeah, I know, but that's again.
He
you're
can't
hitting a
control
woman.
that, and that's his problem.
Sure. What would be the best piece of advice you've been given?
Oh, God. I don't know. That's fucking tough one. Trying
Yeah.
to think.
Like, was there one piece that just stood out for you and was like, right,
I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
wear contraception maybe?
especially in fight camp.
Ah, come here. Yeah,
Especially
come
in fight camp.
here. Come here. Everything happens for a reason. I'm glad I have Chase.
I'm only joking.
But that's what fighters do, don't they?
What?
Apparently.
There's
Oh,
loads
no, you
of
have to-
sponsorship, like for.
Is it?
Yeah, did you never see that I Play Safe and all or whatever they are?
I just remember because obviously with boxers they say like don't they? Like don't have sex and all whatever in fight camp.
Oh yeah.
But then I remember Ronda Rousey was like, no, have a lot of it.
Oh
Like,
really?
it must be
Is she a
different.
little
Must
fucking
be different for women anyway.
up all nighter?
She's pregnant now, isn't she?
Is she?
Yeah.
Is that a first kid?
No.
Yeah, she's pregnant. Her and Travis Brown are having a kid, yeah.
Who was I listening to? I think I was listening to Mike Tyson. I think he said he used to fucking smash his board up in the changing room and all.
Probably sounds like Mike Tyson.
The warm up.
Yeah. Get a sweat going. What's the most adversity you've had in a fight? And that can be kickboxing or whatever, or
I think like my first loss in MMA, I kind of like how long was I training? Just under a year, and I don't know, I got caught in an armbar and I went the wrong way, and I think like that taught me a lot. Like it kind of, I was still training a lot jiu-jitsu, but I was training more to know to do submissions and get better at positions rather than defending positions as well. So I think after that fight I kind of was like, I need to work on when I get in bad positions how to defend them as well, rather than me always being in a better position. Do you know what I mean? So I think that fight kind of definitely taught me a lot.
did you? And when that happened, was it a case of like, right? So let's say when you tapped, like, fuck, I knew how to get out of that.
Yeah.
And
It was
it's
just like, it's like the split seconds where you make a mistake. Like I backstepped instead of stepping over, and I was like, oh, and I put it on more, and I was like, I was only after coming back from breaking my hand. I was doing jiu-jitsu one of the classes, and a fella stood in my hand and broke it in 2 places.
See, that's what we're talking about. If that was a girl, you probably wouldn't have broke a hand.
Yeah, because he was.
I'm only joking.
Because he was heavier. But yeah, no. But look at that. I was only after coming back from that injury, and like I think I only sparred once before the IMFs properly, and in my head I was like, I don't want to be injured again. I don't want me like arm to snap in half. So I tapped. Like I think before that I probably would have been like, I'm not tapping.
But they train you like to do that in training, in sparring or whatever. If you're rolling or whatever, the second the submission gets locked in, just tap.
Yeah,
because you know
it's
your
like
head
be
is your
safe
wealth.
rather than 100%. Like, but
And do you think that's what it was in the fight? It was like, oh shit, I'm caught. Tap.
yeah, and I think as well, like it was going because I went deeper into it, and what I was thinking in my head was like, I hadn't been able to punch in fucking 3 months with this broken hand. I don't want to go back to that again. Do you know?
Yeah. No, I can understand.
It's frustrating, but it's not ideal either because like.
So would that be your biggest setback?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I think the loss for the Dakota was a hard one as well, but I think when I found out I was pregnant, I kind of took it a little bit better because I actually had a reason for
You
it.
had it like a safety net.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
was kind of like, right, well, this is why, and the way how I knew the wake up went bad, and then it had an explanation for all of that. Whereas for the 2 weeks after that, when I didn't know I was pregnant and I couldn't get my head around it, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, why was that like that?
Yeah.
Because I had no answers because everything before it was perfect.
Yeah.
But then when I found out I was pregnant, I was like, right, that makes sense.
What
But
was
that
your
was a hard
first?
one.
What was your first camp like back since?
Unreal, yeah. Well,
Yeah. Like how did the body feel?
so my first fight was originally supposed to be in March.
Yeah.
I felt great for that, and then when that fight got cancelled, I had a bit of a setback. I got 2 bad injuries, like 1 week after another. One, I was still able to train a little bit, but obviously I wasn't able to I broke my nose. And then the following week,
Is that the one you had on your Instagram, the big yoke over your nose now?
yeah, I had to get
Yeah.
glued together and it broke as well. And then
Jesus.
injured me rotator cuff the week after, not even a week after, a couple of days after, and like I wasn't even able to lift Jace, and that was hard. I had to move back home because I couldn't I couldn't
Yeah.
look after
You
him,
needed
and
help. Yeah.
so I was out for like 6 weeks then. And that was hard because I was like already after being out for so long, and then to get back fight fit and then for it all to be taken away from me, it was tough mentally those few weeks, but I got through it, and then sure, look, I've had my first fight and all by now, so my shoulder's back 100%.
Back in the win column.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready to
Thank
rumble.
God. Yeah.
I know you're short for time, so we'll just finish off with the messages that we got in from Instagram, all right?
Yeah.
So the first one is, do you feel pressure?
Do you know what? I don't feel as much pressure as I did in kickboxing.
Right.
I think I always had a lot of pressure on me in kickboxing because I like always won everything. So
Yeah.
it was like, gosh, Shauna's going to win again.
Yeah.
So it was
It was
always
expected of you.
Yeah, yeah, and like even like in the team event, there was always be like 4 men and 1 woman, and they'd always put me out last to try and catch up on points, and like there definitely was a lot more pressure put on me in kickboxing than there is MMA, but obviously there isn't so much pressure from like me coaches or anything like that. It's more me that I want to achieve my goals, and especially because I had the year off. Like,
do you think there's kind of more pressure on Irish people because of kind of how we just blew up on the scene? Like, do you think that when people see Irish fighters now, they're expecting that little bit more, that little bit extra, that little spark from them because of
what Conor
because
brought?
you do see a lot of Irish fighters come up, and whether it's acting like McGregor or trying to do something along the lines, like, and you tend the fighters that are just themselves tend to do a lot better, you know. But
no, I don't know. Like, I think people that are trying to be Conor, it's just like, it's painful to watch.
I agree,
like, just be yourself.
It's like the Irish rappers.
Yeah. No, I do think, and you see it a lot even with other people, like copying, and you're just like, no, just be yourself. Like, it's, you can't. That must be so much pressure, you know, to try and put on like that fake act, and then you're fighting as well. Like, it's like, wow, that's effortful.
Yeah, nearly takes it out of you.
Yeah.
Your biggest achievement to date?
Jace.
She done it.
Yeah.
She passed.
Everyone gets
She
that.
passed.
Has anybody like said different?
No,
Obviously,
not yet.
people didn't have
Not
kids
yet.
or whatever,
Not yet. No, but there will be one.
no.
And I feel
I should have said Jace.
no, I feel sorry for whoever it is because they're getting blasted for it.
You'll get slaughtered.
So obviously you're single, yeah? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah.
Is it tough finding a lad's intimidated by your line of work, or like I'm not saying you're looking at her now, but you know what I mean?
To be honest, I haven't really, since I've had Jace, I'm just focusing on getting back training, and I haven't been dating or anything like that. I haven't actually even.
How would you even find time though? That's the thing,
I
like.
don't.
But even before Jace, let's say,
Yeah.
like would have lads, like, would have been tough for you to find a lad? Would he be intimidated by it, or is it like you don't even notice it? Like,
I always end up with fighters, for fuck's sake.
you always end up with fighters. But look, that's not necessarily a bad thing,
It is.
because
Yes.
Is
do you
it?
think so?
Yeah. Yeah.
But can you not like right? Obviously, you're judging past experience, but like, do you not think you can like? You just have a lot in common, like.
Yeah, I think that's like.
Yeah, do you want to punch the head off each other? At
I don't think that's good, though.
Right.
I
So
think,
obviously
like, I'd
sometimes
like to be
opposites
with
attracts.
yeah. I'd like to be with someone that's like athletic and likes training, because then they understand that. But maybe a different
the gym
sport
side of it. Right.
or just something else.
Okay.
Good transition there, Jay.
Funniest story so far. I'm assuming in the MMA world. Any funny gym stories on that? Hard to think on the spot, I know,
yeah,
but
like,
look, we have to read the people's questions.
Yeah.
That's a mad one, isn't it? I don't know. Trying to think if anything funny has happened to me. Mine's blank.
Blank.
Sorry.
It's all good.
I don't have a funny life.
You ever shoot yourself in the cage?
No, my
happens.
God. Did you see it?
Happens.
Your one in the UFC done that, a couple of years ago.
Betchko hair.
Is that what her name is?
Yeah.
A full scud, I like.
Full, and I think she had white shorts on as well.
Yeah.
Oh, no way. Fucking hell. That was
Yeah.
like your jocks do that week.
Yeah, do you remember? Yeah, do you remember? Gobshy.
I'm only joking. But listen, that's all we have. Shauna, absolute pleasure meeting you. Wish you nothing but the best, and you have two fans here rooting for you, so the best of luck with everything going forward, and thanks
so
for coming on. Jay?
Yeah, no, I just echo what you said. Obviously, the fight's coming up and all, and then the transition into pro. Wish you all the best.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for coming
Thanks for having me.
Where can everyone find you on social media?
My Instagram is Shauna Bannon _, and I don't really use Twitter, to be honest. I need to use it more.
Alright,
But I
that's
think
probably
it's
why
just-
you weren't having any luck trying to text not the first time.
Was it on Twitter?
On Twitter.
On Twitter,
I
yeah.
don't really use
Yeah.
Twitter. I'm terrible.
No,
I
No,
need
she
to.
did. She retweeted it. You actually
Did I?
retweeted it. Yeah,
Did
see?
I did.
I do go on it every now and then, but you know, I'm not really one for Twitter. I need to kind of.
Yeah, I'm
Focus
not a
on it a
fan of
little bit
Twitter.
more.
I
either.
love it. It's
I
my
actually don't
favourite
really
thing.
know what way it works, to be honest. I'd be like, oh, what's happening? Like, you
Yeah.
know, like the comments on things and all, and then they're on my page, and I'm like,
Yeah,
didn't mean for that to happen.
It's like you can follow.
I didn't want anyone else to see that.
Now it's public, like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
no,
we're
Twitter
just-
is mad, but it's good. It's enjoyable.
Listen, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Hi.
Done.
Thanks so much.
No problem. Jay, we really need to sort that fucking intro situation now.
Oh no, it's different every week.